I'm not sure why sometimes it's choppy.
Well, even she knows it.
Okay,
She,
ein,
she's high tech. She shouldn't be heard.
ein Dalet Amar Okay, so talking about Kasha Tchilas Hazama, and Rava was the one who said Kasha Tchilas Hazama, and even if the Edom were contradicted, but then there was Hazama against them, the Hazama still carries out. They're Rogan. If they testify that somebody killed, and then they were contradicted by other Edom who said that it's not so, which is not yet Hazama, and they wouldn't be high anything to that. But then there was Hazama, that they weren't even there at the time. So Rava said that they're still going to be killed. And he brought a rye from a case where Edom had said, case about Edom, about an Eved with Shane Vine. So we know that an Eved goes out free if the master knocks out his eye, knocks out his tooth. And here the case was that both of them were done to him, two and with the second one, he would be paid. He have to pay like any free man. The Gemara will talk about that soon, but that's how it is. That well, once he's free automatically, so then the second man
Next damage is a damage like
like any free
then
man,
Israel.
right? And then he has to pay for it. And the
Does he have
question
to
was
go
the
through
order.
any tickets to make the changeover, or there's no
It
ticket?
seems not. Do we even ought to get shechma? We had that in Kedusha someplace, but I don't recall. Okay,
No
that's what it sounds like
mikveh,
over
there's
there.
no mikveh, there's nothing.
He went to the mikvah when he became a nevid.
Right,
When he became a nevid, he went.
right, that's right. I guess
Oh, I'm making a mistake. Yes, no. Eva Kanani also goes to the okay.
Hmm.
So that was the issue that Robert brought a rye from. The way the Bryce said it, it was not possible to read the Bryce literally because it just said that Adam came and said he knocked out his eye, knocked out his tooth, and the Rob is happy. And
why is he happy?
what else did it say over there? A few conscious, the Bryce had a few conscious, and because of that, we had to change the Bryce so that there was something else happened over there. And Robert said it must have been the first Adam came and said first the tooth, then the eye. Second Adam said the eye and then the tooth. And they were coming to take away they were coming to be to to help out the Rav. What?
Yeah, but just to change the story from the first.
Right. They can't change the one. The first price said.
Well, should have to be shot for the Evan.
Right. So then right. So then it would be that they'd have to pay their master for the ever that they want to take away from him. So the stand of other cautious also that you can be the brisa, and therefore it must be that other Rabbis bills out of that. It must be that first of all they even that first that said that it was true the tooth and the eye, but it was that order tooth and then the eye, and then the master owes the ever the eye, and the Adam, the false Adam came. The Adam came and said that it was the eye, and then the tooth, and he only owes him a tooth. He's helping out the Rab, and then they became Zomanim. And Rabbi wants to learn from this, and it says they have to pay. They have to pay the master, has to pay the Eved, the value of the eye. They were going to cause that the Eved shouldn't get reimbursed for his eye, only going to be reimbursed for his tooth. So they have to pay the Eved that which they wanted to damage him. That was the price that Rava sort of invented. I mean, Rava learned the price, and that's what's being said. And he said, you see, because there was already a caution because there was a question even before he started.
You heard that?
House.
That was Rava's Ryan. And Abai said it's not Buchach in the Brisa. It doesn't say the whole story. Abai said he can read the Brisa differently, that there were no previous Edom. It means the Gemara is agreeing that if there would be such a story that the first set of Edom came and said it was the tooth and the eye, and the second set of Edom said the eye and then the tooth, you're right, that would be a case of a kasha. And then if Brisa says anyway that they have to pay, they have to pay for their hazama, so that also kasha tchilas hazama. But Abai says that's what the Brisa means. The Brisa is like a very vague Brisa. Just says that the Edom came and said he knocked out an eye, he knocked out a tooth. So Abai says it could be that the first Edom that came, and then the second Edom came and they did hazama. But before they did the hazama, after they did the hazama, you could say that was Misatashi says huzmu vakach apich huzmu. But they could do even the basachas. But it wasn't that they were first makash and then there's hazama. There was hazama right away. So that was Abai's dichud on Rava. And he even proved this from the Sefer, that's on one top of the page. And he says, with the Sefer, I could prove from the next case in the Brisa, that the way to learn the Brisa is that there were no invisible Eidim before that. Because the Sefer says the opposite case. That first the Eidim said, that the Eidim, all the Brisa says that the Eidim said for a tooth and then the eye. Like it says over here, people are saying the and it says the evidence is happy about that.
What? So he's getting because he's going free, but what about?
And also, he's also happy that he's going to be paid for his eye, not only for the tooth. The order is also correct. That is happy with that order also. And then it says you have to pay the value of the eye to the Rav. And the question is that if they're supposed to be the price as is, that is the only item that came. So then, if so, they should have to pay the whole of it to the Rav, because the whole thing was not true. They said that he knocked out his tooth, knocked out his eye, nothing was true. So then they wanted to steal an evidence. They wanted to take the weight evidence from the Rav. So you can't read it the way it is. Bai says it must be that Avchinu Vazmenu. And the one doesn't explain how come you can't say Rabbi Strat, that it was were invisible Adam, that the Bride doesn't talk about Adam came first and said the opposite order. First it was the eye and the tooth, and they said the tooth and then the eye. So Rashi explains that that would not be considered that anything was done to these Adam, because if the first Adam said that he owes him a tooth, and the second Adam said that he owes him an eye, it's 2 against 2, and they're not going to be able to extract any money from him. So they didn't. Their Adis didn't accomplish anything, and therefore the Brisa wouldn't make sense according to Rava's interpretation that it's talking about the Adam came before, and they said the opposite. There must be that the Masimim came second, and they said Huzam and Apech Huzam, and it's not right to Rava's case. Adkan we got yesterday. Hey Chidami. So the Gemara is on the whole issue of this Brisa and the way the Gemara explained it. So we have now that this is according to everybody. This is according to Abai, according to
everyone.
According to everybody.
Yeah. No, according to Rabba.
Rabba had that right. So the whole it's going on the Abai's shot. The point of Abai's shot. When the second the way Abai raised the price is that the Eidim will go on the Reish and the Sefer. In the case, the Eidim came and said a certain order, and then the Eidim came and said that it was the opposite order. It's true, but it's the opposite order. When did it happen? It means the Eidim comes, he doesn't have an eye, doesn't have a tooth. The question is who did it, in what order? And Eidim came and said that the Rav did it in a certain order, and then the Eidim afterwards came and they said, first of all, you weren't there, or second of all, you weren't there, and the order was the opposite of what you said. But when did they say that it happened? If they would have said that it happened later, then the first Adam had said, so at the time that the Adam testified, they said it happened on Sunday. The other Adam said it happened on Monday. So then they also wanted to take away the Eved from the master unjustly, because he still belonged to the master. It wasn't true. It hadn't happened. Even if the facts come out later on that later on the fact was later on that Rob really hit it. But they said it at the time that it hadn't yet happened. So how can you say that they don't have to pay for the whole of it?
I'm not going to say that just one day he was trying to be mafsid. Because the nice one day this happened.
Because it didn't happen yet. It didn't happen.
Case totally not wasn't true.
And even if it happened the next day, that's nothing to do. You wanted to steal an egg from him. I didn't even think of that possibility, but if they delayed the time that then the second one said that it happened later than the first ones, they should have to pay for the whole Eved to the master. Because at the time when they came to Bezin and said that the Eved goes free, he really didn't go free. So you must say, so that's not difficult. Yeah, they said that happened earlier, or at the same time, just which was first. So the answer is, you're right, that they said that it happened earlier. The first Adam came and said it happened on Monday, and they said that happened on Sunday. So when the Monday Adam, when they testified that happened on Monday, so they were stuck. He really supposed to go free. But they said the question, well, which was first, the tooth or the eye, in order to change how much he should have to reimburse him for. But as far as going free, that's not a question, because he really was supposed to go free before the false Satan tested on him. But the Marshal has not a problem. The low Amad Bedin, Katid May Kule Eved Boy Okay, forget about that. The Kati, lo, the Kati Gavalam Chayiv. That the Chayiv of going free is only when Bezin Paskins. Just because it happened doesn't make him go free automatically. That's what it says. That he doesn't go free automatically until the Bezin Paskins. Does that have any ramification? What we said that the eye and the tooth.
Are you sure that it's saying that he doesn't agree?
What does it say?
Or that
The
if
Kati
he
Gavalam.
wanted to be mafsid him, or Shaloi Kadesh?
Can you say it again?
The halacha is that he would be set free, but the Bezdin didn't pass him ever that he's free.
Bezin never passed me he's free, so he's not free.
He's not free.
What else can you say? It wouldn't bother me that that would be.
He's not that as to.
Does he go
There's
free?
no Adam about it. No one knows about it.
Well, it wasn't
And now
mother
someone
business.
else tried to make a mindset that he knocked out his eye, and then we were massing it. Now the truth is that he didn't knock out the good, but there wouldn't be any Adam. No one would know about it. So
he
he's
wouldn't-
either trying to be master in the Eved or not. You would say not, because I'll leave it the MS.
But here the Gemara,
Wait.
here the Gemara says that he doesn't go free until Bezin Paskins. Isn't that what it's being said? I just got stuck while I'm talking because the case with the tooth and the eye said that's much more that which happened first, but you have to have a mother, but then he doesn't go free. So why do you owe him money if he wasn't freed yet?
You have the Adim saying he hit him. The question isn't about whether he hit him or not. What was the order?
Yes, but
For
then
sure he
go.
was
But
free.
why does he get reimbursed for the second damage? Because he's already free.
It can't be the same Adis. One Adis right now in that he hit him, so he's free.
So I'm asking.
And meaning, does it have to be a separate thing where he's free first and then he
Again.
compensated?
On Sunday, he did two things to him. Whichever was first, second, whatever. And he has to pay, he has to be reimbursed for the second thing that he did. Right? Monday they didn't come to Bezdin and say that yesterday this is what happened. We saw how he beat him up and he did the eye and then the tooth. He has to pay for the tooth. But he wasn't free when he wasn't free yet when he hit him on the tooth. He's only going to be free now that Monday when they come to Bezdin. So should he have to reimburse him?
Actually, has a shot. He could have gotten out of it. He could have been moved. If the Sheva Ayin, so then he's not set free automatically. Only going to find out about it. He has a way to get that he shouldn't move with Knas.
The question we're talking about if he goes to free right away. What do you want to say?
Actually, it's not.
He doesn't go free right away.
How did it before?
Maybe it's not terrible, but the whole thing of it means that there was a mother within. You must say there's a mother within, or else it doesn't go free at all.
In the room, Sunday.
Yeah, I just want to get the place over here. He says something. Anytime you shouldn't be Rashi about the way they be knas, because my knas work away in the chayvach, even though I'm within the cheshbin, the gaver brachayuva, the Indian knas to the precious. Okay, I'm shaky about this. Does the Evid go free automatically, or Bezin has to paskin that it goes free? This Gemara seems to say that only after Bezin paskins, and the Gemara's kash is that even if it's true that he hit him, and the Edom are saying that he hit him before you say that he hit him, but he got the wrong order, but he wouldn't have gone free because Bezin didn't paskin yet. So the Edom Taka did that. False Edom did want to take away Evid from the master because there was no mother within.
There's no what?
There was no din Torah about it. Only when the Bezin paskins, that's the time that the Eved goes free. And if the false Edom testified that he should go free before Bezin had paskin so they were taking away Eved from the rightful owner. So he's still the rightful owner until Bezin paskin
Yeah, but the only way in the best in can paskin was that there's Adis, so that he was hit. I don't see.
Edom came that were Bnei Brak, they weren't here B'chlal, and they said,
Oh.
they testified that when you were Shalim at this and this time, we saw that he and Bezdin, and really he hit him on. He said he's hit him on Monday. Really, the truth is he hit him on Sunday, but no Edom had come to Bezdin yet. So even if Edom come on Tuesday and say that he had hit him on Sunday, but since Bezdin did not yet paskin that he goes free, he doesn't go free. And if Edom came on Monday and said that he hit his Eved and he should go free, and they're false Edom, the Edom Zomim, so they should have to pay for the whole Eved because they wanted to take away a whole Eved from the master. Even though it's true that he had hit him already, but Bezdin didn't pass him that he goes free. This Gemara sounds like it doesn't go free till Bezdin passes. And that's the most kasha. If no one mother bedin, so still the Eidim Zoman should have to pay for the full Eved because the man was not yet chayiv to send away his Eved.
Because there's two hits though, doesn't it? By any regardless of the ruling, it's gonna be that one of them is calling him to go free.
Yes. So
The fact that additionally they're gonna try him to
it could be, but it's a chiddush to me. I would think that he doesn't have to pay for he doesn't have to reimburse him for the second damage that he did to him. Only if Bezin already had freed him. That is, I was a freed man. Maybe you're right. It could be that the Gemara is going to say. The Gemara says something later on. I didn't understand it the way you're saying it, but maybe you're right. Maybe the Gemara is going to say what you said. I didn't think of that. I thought that he only has to reimburse him for a damage like a free man. Once he's a free man, he's not yet a free man. Maybe the Gemara is going to say what you said, and that will help things out. But I didn't realize that. But that's the most kasha at this point, that if the Eidim testified falsely, that falsely means that they weren't there about a damage that happened to him, or before Bezdin had paskin that he goes free, so they really wanted to take away a free, they want to take away the Eved from him. So the answer is that they say there was a mother bedin. It comes into a very interesting story now. Amalei, I'm sorry, the wrong place. What am I doing? Elo damad bedin. That's the answer. The answer is Elo damad bedin. That's the answer to the question. That there really was a mother bedin. There was a mother bedin.
Mafredin?
No, mother bedin. Amad bedin. That there was a din Torah, and the Bezin said that he goes free. But instead of letting me go free, he ran away with the Eved. He didn't want to listen to the din Torah, to the Psak Din, and even though he's supposed to free his Eved, after he hit him once, twice, and he's trying to free him and also to pay him, he ran away.
With the Eved.
With the Eved. Whatever, the Eved wasn't freed yet. The Eved wasn't freed. And now he's called, now the Eidim Zoman came. Now false Eidim came. We don't know that they're false. But they even came to the Bezin and said that they saw that he hit him, or what their mother bedin was. They testified what their mother bedin was in Bezdin in Australia, that they paskined on such a thing, and they say that this happened in this certain order, and he has to reimburse him for the second damage that he did to him. But they weren't even there. It comes out not now in Mamazim then. So here they're not going to have to pay for the whole slave because the slave really did go free because the Bezin already paskin. The mother bedin means that the master lost his Eved because the Bezin paskin. The whole Gemara's kasha was that till the mother bedin, he really doesn't go free. The answer is there was a mother bedin, and the Eidim that came to testify falsely, they were testifying after the mother bedin, but the Bezin over here didn't know about it, and they came to say a false testimony that they weren't able to say because they weren't there. They said the wrong order. Also, whatever it might have been. But you must say that they were testifying after the mother bedin, or else they'd have to pay for the whole Eved, even though they really did hit the Eved before. But if Bezin didn't paskin, then he wasn't supposed to go free, and they were freeing him unjustly. So they're most happy with these two terutzim that you have to say these points. That the second day they are saying that it happened before. What happened before? There was a mother bedin before. And they're most happy with that. I think now the Gemara was back. What happened over here? This was Robert brought a ride from this obscure brisa, and he said the brisa must be talking about that they were an Eidim that are not mentioned in the brisa, previous Eidim. Before I call them invisible Eidim, that's not such a nice way to say it. More of the previous Eidim that the brisa doesn't talk about, the first set of Eidim. And the brisa said it's not muchas. You could say that there were no previous Eidim; they're just a later Eidim. Later that are saying Azama, they're also saying Akasha. And now the Gemara goes back to Rabba's Pshat. From where the Rabba want to be medayik is din of Akasha Tchilas Azama. Again, the first iteration of the say that one set of Eidim came and said knocked out the eye and then the tooth. And that's what Bryce says. And Rabba said that it must be that the case was that there was a previous set of Eidim that first it was the tooth and then the eye. Again, so we're looking at Rabba's scenario that Eidim first came. We're accepting Rabba's strat that there was a previous Eidim that were not mentioned. So first set of Eidim had come and said that he knocked out the tooth and then the eye, and he owes the Eved, he has to reimburse the Eved for an eye. And then the false Eidim came and they said that it was really the eye and then the tooth, and he doesn't owe the Eved only has to reimburse it for a tooth. And Rava considered this a kasha because they're already arguing. The second Adam that came, they're already arguing with the first Adam. It's already contradictory Adam. And still the price is going to say that when they get Huzam, they have to pay. Is the proof that Akasha Tchilas Azam. That was Rava. That was just husbanding over what Rava had said.
Kasha what?
I just reviewed what Rava had said yesterday. I didn't say anything yet. Now, it was asking, Duki the Rava Mecham, where does Rava want to be medayik his shot of Akasha Tchilas Azama? Ilema Meresha, the case we just said, Meresha Mikum Iskachshi, Mitziyoi, are the middle Adam, the Adam that came and said it was the false Adam, that they said that there was an eye and then the tooth. Is that considered Akasha? Given the Ilo Mitzimisa Adusa Kavasayu, Karkaima, the Dina Kavasayu Paskinan, the Yesh, Bechlal Masayamana, Hilkach, Kamoi, who the Kamiskafshi, Mitzioy Lomaskafshi, Midi. What's the Moskafshi? If anybody can help me? That the first Adam had said that he owes him a tooth. The second Adam came and said he owes him an eye. I'm sorry, the other way. The first Adam said he owes him an eye. The eye was second. He owes him an eye. Second Adam came and said, no, it's only a tooth. And we are going to listen to them because it's 2 against 2. What do you do 2 against 2? So you can't be motzi moment. So everyone agrees that it was the price of a tooth, but not the price of an eye. The first one I said he owes him an eye. Second one came and said, no, he only owes him a tooth. So we're going to do like that. We're going to do like that. But that's not called Edis Mukashas.
Why don't we say Hamotzi?
We had the problem. We had the problem yesterday. Yesterday, Yaakov.
Why don't we say Hamotzi Raya Mechavera? How do you say it?
Yeah, you're right. And therefore, even though you have 2 Adam that say that he owes him an eye, but 2 Adam say he only owes him a tooth. So it's 2 against 2. So we don't know what to do. So you're not going to be able to extract more than the tooth. The money of the tooth. So the second Adam they didn't get contradicted. On the contrary, they won. They didn't win because we definitely know that they're right. They won on the default because you can't be motzi moment unless you're definite, and it's 2 against 2. So the Gemara is asking that this is not called Edis Mukashas. Rava's case was that Adam came and said that he killed, and then Adam came and said he didn't kill. So their Edis is off. Their testimony is not worth anything because if we don't know, we're not going to kill. If it's 2 against 2, we're not going to kill him. So the Edis was valueless, and then Adam came and said, you are someplace else. So are we going to act upon it and kill them because they were Adam's omen? On the other hand, no, the Edis wasn't worth anything. So Rava said a huge chiddush that we're going to kill them, even though the Edis was valueless. But here, it's not. He brought a case from this case. This case is not valueless. This case is very valuable because when the first Adam said he owes him a tooth, the first Adam came and said he owes him an eye, and the second Adam came and said no, he only owes him a tooth. They win the case, not because we know that they're right, but because on default we can't do because 2 against 2. So that's not called Edis Mukashas. If anything, the first one will Mukash. The first one said I. We're not going to do like them. The other ones, there was a kasha against them, but there was no kasha against the Adam that said it's only a 2. Make sense? It's true that the 2 against 2 they're arguing, but that's not called a kasha. A kasha means that their testimony was valueless, was deemed valueless. But in this case, it was very valuable. The fact that they said that it was only a tooth, so they win. They're going to win the case. So the wise asked, so it's not right to our case about killing. By killing, they testified it's chayv misa, and then the other one said no, he's not, and we're not going to kill him at that point. Then you go back to the first Adam, and you want to kill them because of Adam's Zomerman. That was Rava's big chiddush, and he doesn't have a right in this case. So let's take more inside again. He asked him, Duki the Rebbe Mecha, where's Rava's diak from? The case that first Adam said that he owes him an eye, and second Adam said he owes him a tooth. The middle Adam, those second Adam that say that it was only owes him a tooth, are they contradicted? I read this. If they wouldn't have been Huzam, Sadusa Kavasayu Kokaima, then it would have been like them, that he only owes him a tooth. The Dina Kavasayu Paskina, that's what we're going to pass. The Yesh Bachmal Masai Mana, 100 is included in 200, which means the first one said he owes him an eye, call it 200. The second one says only owes him a tooth, 100. So they're not being denied. The first one is not denying them. The first one is saying even more. So that's not called the day with Hukkash. The first ones are the ones that are being contradicted, that they said he owes him 200, and no, he only owes him 100. But the second one that says he owes him 100 is not being contradicted by saying that he owes 200, because they're the ones who are going to win the case. Amalei, so he told him, who's he? I forgot who's he and him. Ravashi. Ravashi told back to Rava Sava, Midiresha B'Shalosh Kito, Sefer Nami B'Shalosh, You're right. From the ratio, it's not a raya. The ratio alone wouldn't be a raya. But he says that since the ratio we proved is talking about that there was a previous edus that it doesn't say in the brisa, and even though it brings in the brisa only 2 sets of edim, there was also a previous one, and altogether they are 3. So that's enough proof to say the Sefer also is talking about 3 cases, 3 sets of edim, and over there the case that the brisa says is that the edim, the false edim, the edim zomen, they said that the eye was second, the ozim an eye, and now he's thinking the previous case. The first edim said that he owes him a tooth. It was an eye and then a tooth, and then he owes him a tooth. And the second edim said no, that it was a tooth and then an eye. So they are coming to, they are mukhash. They're already built in mukhash. As soon as they come and say a tooth, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't accomplish anything because the two edim that says it's only an eye. So it's 2 against, it's only a tooth. So it's 2 against 2. This case, Rabbi considered it is mukhashes. Now, Abai really used this case to say that your shot doesn't make sense because you didn't do anything. And here the Gemara is saying that this is a raya.
Before became not the middle guys. The Zimmerman came and they were not in the first guy.
Since the rest
This
of
is the one.
let's see, the Daik Misefa. Keep going. So not the way the Gemara said it before. It's going to be 3 Edim, not the way the Gemara first, not the way that Rabbi understood Rabba. So we're helping out Rabba a little bit. That Rabba said that the first case shows that there were 3 sets of Edim, and one wasn't mentioned. And now that's going to say that the Sefer also has 3 sets of Edim. And what's going to be the case now? That's the first statement. That's what it says. That's what it says in the Brisa. Those are the words of the Brisa. And before we thought that you can't insert a previous Edim to say the opposite because then the second Edim didn't do anything. The first one said he owes him a tooth. And the second one says he owes him an eye. They didn't accomplish anything with their Edus because they're not going to pay a tooth. So that's what that can't be. So what is going to be the case over here? That the first set of Edim came and said a tooth and then an eye. So he owes him an eye. We paskin like them. The peasant said, okay, so you have to pay him for an eye. Also,
Sorry, what's up, Umay?
Sorry?
What does it mean?
On their mouth, according to their mouth, apihem, al pihem, on their mouth, means on their testimony. Because of their testimony, we said, Besson said that he has to pay to the master the value. You have to pay. No, the master has to pay because they're very, right. It's still a quiet case. Nothing's complicated yet. That there was Adam came and said that this master he knocked out his slave's tooth and then his eye. So the business said you have to pay the Ebed for his eye. He goes free and you have to pay him for his eye. And then other Adam came and said it was the opposite order. That's a regular kasha. They said it was the eye and then the tooth, and therefore he only owes him a tooth. They come up that they are being makish. They are saying they're saying that he owes less. Right, only a thing. Eved loses, and now they right, and they are there's a kasha against
The first one.
and they are. And then the first ones are going to be Huzam. Again, the first one said he owes him an eye. Second Adam came and said that they owes him a tooth.
Meaning he does not owe an eye.
And that's already, so the eye, the one who said eye, they're already down. Their testimony wasn't worth anything anymore because it's 2 against 2. We can't extract the eye from him. We're only going to extract the money for the tooth. And then the first ones were Huzam. And him Huzam Kamoy. The first ones. So the Brisa, even though Rabbi said that the Brisa are making it symmetrical, it isn't so symmetrical because in the first case, what the Brisa says is the second set of Edom. Brisa only says one. And second, in the Sefer, what the Brisa does mention is going to be the. It's really the same case over again. It's Mamash that the Brisa says 2 different cases, Ayin Shein, Shein Ayin. And according to Rabbi's explanation now, both of them are the same case. There was first Edom that said a tooth. He owes him a tooth. Second Adam said he owes him an eye. Second Brisa says the same thing. Second Sefer is the same thing. But the question was, who was Huzam? The second one Huzam was the first one Huzam. And
Ron thought there was 3 sets.
3 sets always means the Mazimim at the end. The third set, right? Whenever we say I say him 2, the Brisa only mentions 1 set of Adam and then the Mazimim. And Rav had to insert another set of Adam. And he still wants us to insert another set of
But
Adam.
now he's saying that they're making the first set of
Right, the first Adam made the Mazimim. But it comes out that both cases of the brisa was that first they said you owe an eye, and then you said owe a tooth. And the question was who's the first one or the second one?
But it does it make a practical difference in who's being saved? Because the second people's their
Testimony.
the testimony is still testimony.
Which one?
Whether the second, if it's depending on regardless of the order.
They come out that it was the same. Again, they're both bright. Both the Reish and the Sefer are both the same case. Same case as far as the set of Adam that came. The first came, the set of Adam came and said that he owes him an eye, and the second set of Adam says he only owes him a tooth. But then the difference with the Reish and the Sefer is going to be who's the one who was Huzam.
Right.
And in the second Sefer, you're going to say that the first one was Huzam, and the time of Rabbi wanted to say, if that's the Rabbi learned the Brisa, and you see that they become Zomim even though they're already Hukash, because their testimony is deemed valueless. And since the second of Adam came and said there was only a tooth, so we're not going to be able to extract the eye from him, and he's still Zomim. They have to pay for the eye, the first ones. This was what Rabbi's raya was. That the way he learned the Brisa was that first Adam came and said that he owes him an eye. And then the second Brisa says, then the second Adam came and said he owes him a tooth. And at that point, it's already hukash. The koach of the Adam is already contradicted, and they're not going to be able to be mostly the money for the eye. And then it still says when the Adam Zoman come and say, you, the first set, are Zoman, they have to pay for the eye, even though the testimony wasn't worth anything. It was already hukash. It must be hakashat chilas hazama. That was what Rabbi's raya really was. Rabbi before said that it's not a proof, and he says that you can learn the Bryce is talking about that there was no hakasha, it was hazama and then the hakasha. That was what Rabbi said yesterday at the last line of Amud Beis, that you could say hafkinu v'azminu. You could say that hazama came before there was any hakasha, or together with the hakasha. But by you have to stick in, even according to you, that you're going to say that there are 3 kitos. That's because then the Reisha says that the Rav is happy with that testimony. And the way the Bryce says doesn't make any sense. The Bryce said that it was the eye, then the tooth, and Rav is happy. There's no happiness over there because if there was no testimony at all, he wouldn't have to pay anything. They're taking away his slave from him. So you have to say there was Adam that came beforehand and said that he does go free. So you have to stick in another Adam. And the second in the Sefer, there's no reason to insert a previous Adam. The Sefer says that they came and said the tooth and then the eye. As this Eved is happy, the Eved is surely happy. The Eved is happy, first of all, that he owes him an eye, and also the whole thing. There's no previous, you don't have to say any previous Adam in the Sefer because the Eved is happy that they're saying he goes free. And the Reisha, you can't say there were no previous Adam because if there are no previous Adam, so then this is causing him to lose his Eved. So the Eved is that the master is not happy. The Brisa says the master is happy with this testimony. If there were no previous Satan, they wouldn't be happy. He wouldn't be happy because without this testimony, he'd have a slave, not taking away a slave. Question is to say also damage after that also. But the fact that if there were no Adam before that, so then he wouldn't have to free a slave at all. So the ratio, you do have to stick in a previous Adam. But in the Sefer, you don't have to stick in a previous Adam. Previous Adam, you don't have to say there was previous Adam because if it just says that Adam came and said it was a tooth and then an eye, and David's happy, it makes sense. Everything's good. David's going free. He's getting reimbursed for an eye. Everything is good. So therefore, there's no reason to edit the Sefer of the Brisa. And Abaye wants to learn that the Sefer is talking about that these are the Eidim that came, Shein V'ayin, and then the Eidim came and they were Muslim them, and it's not right that Pashat Chilas Hazam. Yes, please.
So the difference now then that Rava saying that the eye is being paid to the master, and Abaye is saying the eye is being paid to the slave. Because if we're saying he's already free, and you're making the first witnesses that said tooth and eye.
You're saying Rava's Strat now?
Yeah.
Rava said that.
Rava's saying there was already a previous court.
Rava in the Sefer, in the case we were saying we're right from.
Yeah.
They came first. They're the first ones that came. and they said that tooth and then the eye.
Right, and then the second set is saying,
It was the eye and then the tooth.
and then
And the first one
first
is
set, therefore, it's that money is going to the master, the eye. That
that money is going to them. It's their right. Because they wanted to take away that money. Second. They wanted to take away that money. Right. That's what the Brisa says. That they have to pay to the mass. That's what it says. So it's still holding that Rabbi thought he had a raya. Abai said it's no raya. Abai wanted to make a raya kashat kilas asama, and Abai said it's no raya. The Brisa he could learn it from it. And the whole this is what I was referring to when Shaul said that they had a question, when does he go free? So I thought that he won't go free, and he doesn't have to pay for. He doesn't have to pay for the second. The Gemara said today that he doesn't go free until Bezin Paskins. Amad B'din. There was also an issue about if he damaged him, two damages, the tooth has the eye and the tooth. So then the first one make him go free, and the second one he has to pay for. So I was getting stuck. Is that only after Bezin Paskin that he goes free? So I'm not sure. Here, let's see the Gemara. Masafab Zera, Aim was Sino, Nepok, Nepok, Beino. People Ashino, Nepok Bashino. Simia Seno, people Ashino, Nepok Beno Bashino. Who says at all that he has to pay for the second damage that he did? The Torah says that if a master knocks out an eye, he goes out because of his eye. The Torah also says that if he knocks out his tooth, he goes out because of the tooth. Maybe if he did both, so he goes out with both. How do you know he has to pay for the second thing that he did?
Why not? So the Torah says, because you didn't out.
Maybe all these things make him go out. The Torah does maybe.
Also, if we read it, the master's getting paid the eye, then he's already out.
Again, I missed
It doesn't say it doesn't. Why doesn't it say the Evan goes free and doesn't get the eye or doesn't get the tooth?
Right. The Brisa is assuming he has to pay. The Brisa, that's the most constant. The Brisa says openly that if he did two damages to him, for the second one he has to pay, like any free man. And the Gemara is challenging that. Who says maybe the whole din of Shane Brian, it doesn't. There's no reimbursement on it at all. Even if he did two things to him, it's just going to make him go out. It isn't that he's already free. And this is what I thought that I was thinking that he goes free right away. And today I got stuck while I was talking because it's mashman the Gemara out that he doesn't go free until a mother within. Now I'm happier with what Shaul is saying, because if it would be that he had mamish a mother within and he went free mamish, and let's say 3 years later the master is gonna hit him, of course he has to pay. He's mamish a free man. So the Shaul's right that the Gemara is talking about that even though there's no mother within, but he's gonna have to pay for it. He knocked out on Sunday. He knocked out the tooth and then knocked out the eye, morning, afternoon. And then you go to Bezin on Monday. The Bezin says you're free because of the first thing that happened. And also you have to pay for the second thing. So even though he wasn't a free man yet, but that's what the Gemara is dashing now, that if he does him two things, he has to pay for the second one, even though he wasn't freed yet.
So the proof calls a master.
Why?
The discussion wouldn't be about a master in a state right now.
Because it will be like 5 years later. What's the difference? It will be that Ibrahim free. So I didn't have that, and now everything makes sense. That I think that it's true that he doesn't go free until Bezin passes he's free. But the fact that he has to pay for the eye for the second damage is irrelevant if he went free or not. The Torah says he has to pay him for the damage that he did, even though he still was a slave. I put these things two together, but I think I'm making a mistake. I think it's a chiddush, but now I see the other way. That it would be a big chiddush to say the other way. But you have to have if it's pashut, if after he freed and is officially, and then 2 days later, 2 years later, he's going to hit him, wouldn't have to pay. He says that you're going free. Well, went free already. So it must be that even though he didn't actually go free, this gives him a ticket. This gives him a coupon that he's going to get free. But now if you touch him again, you have to pay for it, like any kind of a damage.
Earlier was talking about him running away with this.
Yes.
It would be that it didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Him becoming free. Even
The Bezdin, if the Bezdin, the Gemara says that he did pass, but the Bezdin passes that he has to, that's free.
Okay.
Now you're stealing a person, you kidnap.
he just kidnapped.
Yeah. So that was whose clash was Observer. Observer asked that maybe there's no such thing as paying for the second damage. And now we're being a little bit happier now that Yidaka didn't get freed yet. So he did two things. Who says they has to get reimbursed for the second thing? You're saying, Avram, that why shouldn't he? But there's a big side not to, because he wasn't freed yet. And it comes to a big chiddush that he has to pay. There's extra pasuk over there that it says tachas, tachashino, Where's the pasuk over here? It should bring the second pasuk also. There are two pasukim. So the pasuk says that he goes out for that one thing. He doesn't go out for two things. He goes out for one thing. And if the second thing happened, you don't say that it's no difference if it's one or two. He goes out for one thing alone, Shane alone, Ayin alone. And if there's not something else happened, there's going to be a payment for that. So he dashes it from the pasuk. I think we could put that in parentheses. Well, that point was in parentheses. It was a nice thing that came out from the brisa, but that's a side point. Now was going back into the main sugya, which was, do you say akashat chilas azama or not? Do you say akashat chilas azama? Rabbi said a chiddush that Edom said, testified that somebody killed and he's chayiv misa, and then there was akasha against that. The other came and said he didn't kill. And then Edom come and said that these Edom were someplace else. They were not here at all. How are you going to kill them? Because they ate. What's the big chiddush of Rabbah? Because the Edom already was deemed valueless. It was thrown out of Bezdin, and now he's still going to kill them. That was Rabbah's chiddush. I'm going to bring a raya to Rabbah from our Mishnah. What does it say? We had this Mishnah. We had the Mishnah. We worked on it already. That the same Edom said Ganav and also Tabach. The same Edom, not two different sets. The same Edom. He said Ganav and then Tabach. In him Suzomin. So that's right. That came from also the Olive. They stole. Everything was a lie. Everything was found to be a zomerman, not the Gneva, not the Tvicha. No. And they were found zomerman. So that paid for everything. They paid 5. Kepel plus 2 plus 3, altogether 5. My love, the Idu ala Gneva, because of Idu ala Tvicha, Buzma ala Gneva, because of Buzma ala Tvicha. The more things, if it says Ganav Tabach, and then Buzma ala Gneva ala Tvicha, you can divide it into 4 separate times. Let's make a Sunday. Rashi makes a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Sunday, they testified that he stole. On Monday, they testified that he slaughtered it. And no, yes, good. On Wednesday, the Hazama came against the Sunday, against the Geneva. And on Wednesday, the Hazama came against the Tvicha. Which the Gemara taught this before also. The Gemara said the same exact thing a couple of pages ago when they wanted to talk about the Mefrei Nifsal or the Mekan Labon Nifsal. The Gemara taught this is around Mekan Labon Nifsal. What happened over here? That on Tuesday, they found Zomerman from Sunday. So the Gemara had a question before that if you hold the Mefrei Nifsal, so then the Edis that they said on Monday is not worth anything because they're already Zomerman if you say the Mefrei Nifsal. So it must be Mekan Labon Nifsal. That was the Gemara's question before. Now the Gemara is using the same raya with a different twist. Even if you say the Mafrei when Nifsal, there's another way to still understand. The Gemara says you can understand the Bryson. I can explain the Mafrei and Nifsal, and still the Eidos on the Tvicha is going to be good. My love, isn't it talking about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? That was the order of things. On Eidos on Geneva, Eidos on Tvicha, Hazam on Geneva, Hazam on Tvicha. Ha'achivin shows Moala Geneva. If there was Hazama against the Geneva, so their Avis of the Tvicha is not worth anything anymore. Not that they were Akasha, it's not worth anything. If the Geneva didn't happen. So on Monday, they testified that they saw somebody slaughter an ox. Yashikayach, you saw somebody slaughter an ox. You can get, every day you can see people slaughtering oxen. What was the point? That it was stolen and it was slaughtered. The stolen ox was slaughtered. But if you take away the edus that it was stolen, so the edus that it was slaughtered is nothing. So if that happened in that order, so then even if they get azam on the slaughtering now, they shouldn't have to pay for that because their edus of slaughtering was made valueless by the fact that there was a azama against Sunday edus. And so the Gemara would help out even if you hold them up for you. How does it go? The Gemara is asking even if you hold Mekan Labon Nifsal, let's say. The Gemara said, how does the Gemara want to do? The Gemara's not going into the sugya of Mekan Labon. The Gemara used the same with the right before for the Mafreya and Mekan Labon, word for word. But here the Gemara is not going into that. The Gemara is asking that you should not go off you shouldn't be higher, even if you hold Mekan Labon Nifsal, you shouldn't be higher because the second aid is not worth anything. The second aid of Tzvicha was deemed valueless because there was no Gnevin. Not that the mamish mukhash, but it means that it's not worth anything because it just slaughtered an animal. It wasn't a stolen animal. It says they have to pay for everything, for the Gneva and the Tvicha. They pay 5 together. Why should they have to pay for the Tvicha? The Eidus on the Tvicha wasn't worth anything. Don't you see from here that even though there was akasha, still, even though the edus was made valueless, still you can get azam on that. Amri, that's the wants to make a raya to Rava. Ravi de Rava wanted to make a raya to Rava. Amri, they said it's not a raya. My skin, I can go and show tchila, period. Which was the same thing the Gemara said before about like the kind of nifsal, my friend nifsal. The Gemara told them my friend nifsal. It doesn't make sense. They're already puzzled from Sunday, so Monday's Eilis wasn't worth anything. They already ate them sulim. The Gemara said it doesn't say that what happened. Gneva tvicha, gneva azaman, gneva azaman tvicha. That's on Tuesday. The azaman was on the tvicha, and the gneva was still standing. So that's our kasha also. The same thing that the edus on the tvicha was not muktash because the edus on the azaman the tvicha was first. And the Gneva was still standing, even though he didn't slaughter, but he stole. So that's why the Hazam will work against the Kricha and also against the Gneva. It's not right to Rava.
Also, in this case, it's different because there's always still going to be the two. So the slave still always going to go free. It's not that.
I didn't get it.
In this case that we're bringing,
the case of the Gneva and the Kricha,
slaughtering means nothing without Gneva.
right?
Here with the tooth and the eye.
No, back to the killing.
Oh, it's going back
to the killing. The case of the killing. This was Rava's chiddush, and the Rava was going to get right to Rava's chiddush. Rava said that if they testified that somebody killed, he's high of capital punishment, and other Eidim came that he didn't kill, he's not high of capital punishment. So the Eidim said that the high that he killed is worthless already, right? They're not going to kill him. Bessin's not going to kill anybody because 2 against 2. It's Reuven Chayiv Misa. 2 Eidim came and said he killed. 2 Eidim came and said he didn't kill. So they're not going to kill. And then Eidim Zomin came and said that you Eidim that said that he killed, you weren't even here before. So it should be Chayiv Misa. Rabbi said, yeah, the Chayiv Misa. Even though their testimony that wanted to kill somebody was deemed how do you say when you have a grenade and you neutralize whatever. Yeah. They neutralized. The Adis was neutralized, but it wasn't worth anything. They had an Adis that say that someone's Chayiv Misa, but then somebody neutralized it by saying no, it's not true. So their Adis is not worth anything. So now the Adim calls Zolman come and say that you weren't there b'chlal, so you're going to be punished the same punishment. They say, it's true, we had an evil scheme, but it was neutralized before the Azaman happened. So Rabbi says, no, it's still Chayiv Misa. That's Rabbi's big Kiddush. And the Gemara wanted to make it right from here that the Adis was neutralized and they still Chayiv to pay. And the Gemara is matching. It could be that it was not neutralized that way. Is that good? And the more things it has a raya that is machlokes, not a machlokes of Amoram, the machlokes of Abai and Rava. So it does remain the machlokes of Abai and Rava. Rav tried to bring proofs. Abai said it's not a proof. They want to try to bring a raya to another raya to Rava. Also, it's not a proof. And now we're just left with machlokes of Abai and Rava. Now the Gemara says it's also older machlokes also. Eidim shuk chashul b'sof huzmu. Mamash's case, word for word. Shuk chashul b'sof huzmu. Rabbi Yochanan b'Elazar chadam ne'rogim v'chadam ein ne'rogim. That's it. Focus. So it doesn't say who's who, but one of them holds like Abai, one of them holds like Rav. But they're earlier. Rabbi Yochanan b'Elazar before Abai and Rav. So we found that because earlier Maram were arguing the same machlokes. This time Rabbi Elazar udam ein ne'rogim. Now the Gemara wants to bring a proof to who holds what. Rabbi Yochanan b'Elazar who holds what? It just says chadama. One says. So I'll be right that Rabbi Elazar is the one who says ein ne'rogim, which is like Abai will say ein ne'rogim. That was Rabbi Elazar, another statement of Rabbi Elazar. If Eidim were found contradicted, the nefesh, which means what? That's something about the nefesh. Is that what the words mean? That they said someone's Chayiv Misa, and the other one said no, he's not Chayiv Misa. So there's no what? There's no.
You're not going to kill him.
It's going to kill him because it's 2 against 2. There's no azama. There's no azama over here. But 2 against 2, and still it says Lokin. Lokin means the Edom who wanted to kill him are going to Chayiv Malchus. The Gemara is going to ask him, how do you know who's right? Maybe that the true Edom. That the Gemara is going to ask soon. We'll come back to that. But for some reason, you found out that the ones who said that he killed is lying. So the Chayiv Malchus. We could jump ahead a second just to make it make sense to us. The Gemara says. That's the last lines before the Mishnah. The Gemara says, Lokin, Trey, there's 2 against 2. How could you give 5 Malchus? How do you know to rely? Maybe the ones I'm Rabbi Bahar Guragla, that the supposed dead man walks into Bezdin. Here I am. So that's the biggest proof. There's no azama, there's no akasha. That's akasha, but it's not 2 against 2. It's the facts against. So he said that Reuven killed Shimon, and then Shimon comes into Bezdin. So first was 2 against 2. Did Reuven kill Shimon or not? 2 Adam said yes, 2 Adam said not, and then Shimon walks in. So we know that he didn't kill, and the first Adam were liars. So the Chayv Malkus. They're not going to kill them because there wasn't azama. Only azama was Chayv Malkus, and there's no azama. But we are going to Chayv Malkus because they lied. And the overall law, the law says, you're not allowed to testify falsely, so the Chayv Malkus. So as more go back to our subject, if theoretically Rabbi says that the Edom who said testimony that he killed could theoretically be killed because of their testimony, even if there's going to be akasha against them, they are still going to be chayiv zomim. If Edom now come and say you weren't even there, besides Shimon walking in and saying here I am, also other Edom come in and say that you weren't even at the scene of the crime of the alleged crime, and it's chayiv misa. If you hold like Rava, if Rabbi Laz would hold like Rava, that the chayiv misa. Amai lokin have a laid lav shenitan lasos Mrs. Bezdin. For cholav shenitan lasos Mrs. Bezdin ain't lokin alav. Elav shamina Rabbi Laz udama in a rugged this time. There's a cloud that if there's a lav, a losa say that the regular losa say is chayiv malchus. But if there's a losa say which besides being chayiv malchus also is going to be a lav which is going to bring him to be chayiv misa, so that kind of a lav is not chayiv malchus. I don't understand it, but that's the rule. Lav which is used as Asaros Mrs. Bezdin. Even if he's not going to be Chayiv Mrs. Bezdin, he's not Chayiv Malchus for a lav. What's an example of a lav Asaros Mrs. Bezdin? All arayos and any chil Shabbos, any kind of anything which is Chayiv Misa. Even in the case of someone's not going to be Chayiv Misa, is he going to be Chayiv Misa? Is he going to be Chayiv Malchus for the lav? So there's a klal, any lav which can be used as a lav for Chayiv Misa is not going to be Chayiv Malchus. And here, if this lav of Losana B'Recha Eichak, this Shava Eichak is not gonna could bring him to be chayiv misa. When he's gonna, if Adam Zoma would come in and he'd be chayiv misa, if you say it's chayiv misa, so then you can't give him malchus even without the Zoma. What's the case over here? That the alleged victim walked into Bezdin, so we know for sure that their testimony was false. They said that Reuven killed Shimon is here. You want to give Malchus, it says you give Malchus to Edom that testified so. But if Edom's own men are going to come against them and say that you weren't there, they're going to be Chayiv Misa. So something which could come to Chayiv Misa, you don't give Malchus. If Rabbi Lezer says that they're Chayiv Malchus, it must be also they're not going to come to Chayiv Misa because he holds like Abaye that you don't say Akashat Chivas Azayah. So that's a good proof. So we got it lined up now. You have machlokes between Abaye and Rava and between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lezer, Akashat Chilas Azama. Rabbi says Akashat Chilas Azama and they are Chayiv Misa, and so does Rabbi Yochanan, right? Rabbi Yochanan is the one who says like Rava, and Rabbi Lezer and Abaye hold that you don't say that, then they're not Chayiv Misa. This Mishnah is now easy because we had the other Mishnah and we already spoke about this Mishnah. It's going to say all kinds of cases where it's only going to be careful and not Dalad Vei. The other Mishnah said before that it's careful and Dalad Vei, and there were Chedushim, maybe that was the Pasha of the Mishnah. Now it's going to be cases, it's not going to be Chayv Dalad Vei because some reason is going to be because maybe Rabbi Minei. That's going to be this Mishnah, all kinds of cases where it's going to say Eino Mishalim, just to get the cases. It's going to be Mishal Tashlum Kefal, Be'enu Tasham Tashlum Dalad Vei. Here goes the Mishnah. That there are two Eidim that testify that he stole, but there are not two Eidim that say that he slaughtered. There's only one Eid that said that he slaughtered and sold, or he himself admitted. That's going to be Moed B'Knas Pata. So all these cases are going to be Mishalim, Tashlum Kefal, Be'enu Tasham Tashlum Bava Kamma. Right, that's the first psak. That if it was no two Eidim on the slaughtering, so of course there's not going to be a Dalad Vei. More cases. Because come to the Rabbi Minei, slaughtering on Shabbos or slaughtering to Avodah Zarah is a Chiyuv Yisa, so he's not going to be chayiv for the monetary payment of the dollar vay is all going to be high for the Geneva. The Geneva was so the Chayv Kefil is not going to be Chayv dollar vay. Also, talk about the Zohar, the same thing. The case before the Mishnah was that the father died after the tficha. So this is Chayv dollar vay. But if he stole from his father, but then his father died, now he has a Chayv in the Yerusha, so it's partly his. And then he slaughtered it. So it's true that he slaughtered part of the Geneva from his brothers, but as far as he himself goes, it's not. So it wasn't a tvicha kula b'isura. So it's not going to be chayv dalad vei. Or gonna be hektish v'akafta b'chum. After he stole it, he was maktish it. Question is, who's maktish it? That's going to be a question that Bailam was maktish it, or how can he be maktish it if he's what was the case that he's able to be maktish it? Or whatever the case is, it became hektish. So he's not chayv for the tabachum because it wasn't anymore a hedyot. It's only chayv from hedyot, not from hektish. Maybe it says over there, hey, I forgot over there. I forgot what the drush is. But in the case before, the Mishnah said that gonna v'tabach v'akach hektish, then he is chayv dalad vei, because at the time of the tvicha was still chulin, it was still hedyot. But here with maktish, it is not chayv dalad vei for hektish. All these cases, there's no dalad vei. Misham tashlum yekef, and misham tashlum yabava chamisha. A new point about hektish. But Shimon Omer kachim shchayv b'achav yusam misham tashlum dalad vei. Shein chayv b'achav yusam. But the Tanna Kamma seems to say that hektish is no dalad vei. But Shimon says that there is sometimes going to be dalad vei on hektish. And it says if it's a kind of hektish that a person, that the owner of the hektish to buy them had to guarantee the korban. If someone said this is a korban, this thing particular is the korban. So if the kind of korban got lost or slaughtered or whatever, so he doesn't have to bring another korban. He only said this is a korban. But if he said a real lie korban, he accepted upon himself to bring a korban, and then he had this one designated for it. So now it's worth money to him. It's valuable to him. This is called davar gorm l'momen. This is not money, it's hektish, but it's worth money to me because if I lose this, I'm going to have to pay another one. I'll have to bring another one. So that's considered still the hediot's money. So that's what Shimon says, that if he's chayv b'achrais, then he does have to pay the dalad vei. The ganav, by stealing, by slaughtering the korban, he now causes the hediot, the owner, to have to bring another korban. So it's called money. It's true to hektish and not chayv. But here it's not only hektish, it also belongs to the man. Even though the man can't use hektish, but it is valuable to him. Because if he doesn't have this animal, he's going to have to bring another animal. So Shimon says, and he has to pay the dalad vei for that. Makes sense?
Does it contradict with what we learned earlier that preventative loss doesn't have value?
If you remind me what
you had the shomer that stopped the lion. He said the lion could have killed your sheep. So like the
Shabbos Aveda, like
preventative loss.
it's not you can't
didn't have value.
yes. Why is that over here?
You were saying that this sheep that he
That the kind of slaughter is worth money to me. It's money.
Right, but it's only a theoretical money because he was just saving him from
It's saving me from.
having.
It's not saving me. It's saving me. The sheep is saving me, but the Ganav is taking it away from me. The Ganav stole from me this thing which is worth money.
But it was his.
It wasn't his. It wasn't money. It wasn't money. It is money.
It's designated for a korban, so it's like
The korban is not mine. The korban belongs to Hektish. But the fact that I'm going to have to bring another one.
I think that's my question on this. Is that considered like a preventative?
And if it's considered preventative, but here that you took it away from me. Over there, the subject is if the person is for if the
person has to pay the shomer because he saved his.
He doesn't have to pay.
He saved the damage.
He doesn't have to pay.
Because it says that you was. I guess that's the question. Why didn't he have to pay? I don't remember. I thought it was because it was something that was. It wasn't money. It wasn't money. It wasn't in actuality. And this, I'm wondering if it's similar.
Okay, I'll have to think about it. Then, so the more is probably it says too simple. It's too simple. It says that you don't pay Dalvei on a Eidechad. Of course, you don't pay. Eidechad can't be Mechayit. Only an Eidechad says that he's slaughtered it. Al Pi Eidechad Pshita. That goes without saying. So this is going to be a Chiddush. Amri, and then Agama goes into a big sugya. Hakamashmula and Al Pi Atzmo Dumidei Al Pi Eidechad. Things put it together. That it says Eidechad do Al Pi Atzmo. Al Pi Atzmo is a Chiddush. What Bekanas is Pat. even though he agrees I did slaughter, but since he's Moda B'Knas Potter, that's a Chiddush. Eid Echad is simple. The Gemara says that's it. Mishnah put it together to tell you a Chiddush. Just like an Eid Echad is true. Eid Echad is not enough to be Mechai, but if you have two Eidim, so yes, Chai. So an Eid Echad right now, it's not enough, but it could be. That'll become Chayiv eventually if there'll be another Eid who's going to come together with him. One Eid saw that he slaughtered, but he didn't know there's another Eid. And then another Eid came. So he is going to be Chayiv because there are two Eidim. So too.
They have to come together.
So Tais talks about it. Could be after that's they'll come to Bez now to testify together. I think here Tais was the bottom line.
You know, when you use it, everybody. We're talking.
Kiosei Rechel Mistameh. If Tais was bottom line, then it was an Hedwin. And it was Mr. Refus Hashi Idu Shem Gecha. Somehow that they have to testify in Bez together. So here one of them testified. It's nothing. So so they can come again. One came by himself. So somebody else comes. So they come to Bezin together and they can testify. So even though there's an Eid Echad and he's not enough to be Mechai, but if another Eid will come together, he will be Chayiv. So even though he was Moda B'Knas is Potter, but how about his Moda B'Knas and then Eidim came? It's true, he came before the Eidim, but Eidim came after him. We touched on this before. We had a machlokes about this, and we paskin. Moshe had an opinion about this. We're going to paskin that is potter. And here the Gemara says the deacon the Mishnah that is chayiv. The Mishnah says that this Mishnah is that is chayiv, and it says because just like Eid Echad is potter, but that's only means it's not enough. That's not a p'tor. It doesn't mean it's not enough. But if not, it's going to come. They're going to combine to make him chayiv. So too, al pi atzmo is potter, but it doesn't mean that it's get a p'tor. It doesn't get a p'tor. It just means that it's not enough. But if Eidim are going to come, he's going to be chayiv. So that's a big chiddush, and it's against Buna, pass like Buna. Lafuki b'der Buna, Amarav, Dam Buna, Amarav. Moed B'Knas v'Yachar B'Eidim is potter. The non-mission is against that. And Moshe, this was your opinion that Moed B'Knas v'Yachar B'Eidim, he said should be potter, and that's how we pass in. But it isn't so simple, and it's even now it's a mission against that even. And the Mishnah holds that it's not an exemption; it's just not enough to be mechayiv you. But what the Moed B'Knas, but once Eidim are going to come, he's going to be fine. Gufa, now we go into the subject. Once. So let him pay up. Let him do tshuva and pay up. Means just because his tshuva is not a reason why I should be potter. It's not enough to be. The word comes out. It's not. The more he's going to say like you that he was Moed B'Knas, he's potter. Even if Eidim come later on, you could learn differently. You can say Moed B'Knas is not. It's not enough to be mechayiv. It's not enough to be. We're not going to be mechayiv on your own word. We believe you, but we're not going to make you pay because of your own testimony. But if there is a testimony, even if it came later, nobody should have an exemption. I was already Moda. But the Gemara does pass like you.
Usually when people do tshuva, we make them pay the fine anyway.
Like if he's Moda that, if he's Moda that he stole, it's only by Knas. So I can't say, it's fun. So the Gemara is cautious now. Interesting story. I said, Rabbi Gamliel Shasimi, I say, ain't Tavi Abda. Rabbi Gamliel had a famous slave, Tavi. Tavi was a big Talmud Chacham. And Rabbi Gamliel blinded him by mistake. And Rabbi Gamliel was very happy that finally a slave could go free. You're not allowed to free a slave. It's a mitzvah. You're not allowed to free a slave. But he wanted to free him, but he wasn't allowed to. And then it happened that he didn't mean to do the tooth. But it happened, so he's going to go free. Did you hear the good news? My slave Tavi became a free man. What happened? I blinded him. He doesn't go free. There are no Eidim. There are no Eidim.
His eyes are his Eidim. Doesn't mean that he didn't.
What we're learning from everything is
There's nobody who denies. Both him and
that's Moed B'Knas. Moed B'Knas is potter.
Maybe it's one eye. It doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then is one eye still considered blind?
Yes.
As far
as this.
Okay, but not regarding let's say mitzvahs.
No. By it's called a mum or by all the regel.
No, I'm saying
With the
Isn't there a difference between
no, then you have
Tafel
that.
and Edge?
What's
It makes
different?
it single
Then it would be
Edge.
celebration.
It's like you can find this.
Well, this is first of all, no, and also this is Moda B'Knas over here.
From Jewish.
His Rav Gamliel was the master, and he said that my slave went through. And he said that's not enough because there are no Edom. That's because you say so. It's not enough. He's to be behind you. But the words that he said, he didn't say you Moda B'Knas. He said there are no Edom. The words that Bishua said there are no Edom. He said any Edom, no Edom. He said no Edom. He doesn't go free. But the idea could be Hayesh Lo Edom Chayiv. But if there would have been Edom, it's mashma that he would go free, even though Rav Gamliel was Moda already. Moda B'Knas v'Yachach Bo Edom. Shamina Milo, Moda B'Knas v'Yachach Bo Edom Chayiv. It's from the diak of Bishua's words. He should have said that you're Moda already. So that's why he's not going to go free. He didn't say that. He said there are no Edom. If there are no Edom, mashma there would be Edom. He would go free, even though Rav Gamliel was Moda already. So you say Moda B'Knas v'Yachach Bo Edom is Chayiv. But the Gemara says not a raya. Amalei Shani Rav Gamliel the Lobo Knei Bezdin Odi. Rabbi Shua wasn't a Bezdin. Rabbi Shua was a friend. So even if the reason why he said there's no Edom is because there was no Moda. There was no Moda B'Knas.
He was a guy, but was in front of the yeshiva's desk.
That's next Moshe Kasha. For Rabbi Shua Bezdin Haiva. Rabbi Shua is the Dayan. He's the Bezdin. That's what the Rabbam said. But it wasn't in Shalom. The Bezdin Haiva. It wasn't in Bezdin. So even though he's a Dayan, that he's not wearing his hat right now. So it's not called the Moda B'Knas. Moda B'Knas has to be Davka in Bezdin. So the saying could be that Moda B'Knas Yakach Bo Edom is Potter, but he wasn't Moda B'Knas yet. So if there be Edom, the Edom should go to Bezdin and he'll go free. But there were no Edom. That's why Bishua said there are no Edom. If there would have been Edom, the Edom should go to Bezdin and he'll be free because you weren't Moda yet. So it's no raya. Again, the Gemara Bishua said he doesn't go free because there are no Edom. Not if there were Edom, he would go free, even though Abu Gamliel was already Moda. So that's if Edom is Potter, so he's not going to go free even if Edom are going to come. Why does he say there are no Edom? The Knech isn't if the Edom or not. The Knech is he was Moda already. The Gemara says he wasn't Moda. Why wasn't he Moda? Because he didn't go to Bezdin, and even Rabbi Shua wasn't in Bezdin right now. So there was no other. But if he would have been Moda in Bezdin, maybe he would not go free, even if Edom would come. So it's not a proof. But Tanya, another brisa. There is another version of the story. There are two versions of the story. According to one version, the story was he told him there are no Edom. He doesn't go free. According to the other version, he said you're Moda. What we're looking for. According to this version, it does say that the fact that you're Moda, that's why he doesn't go free, even if there are Edom. My love Tanoi. So it seems from these two versions, it seems to be in this question, Mamish. Would he go free if Edom would come afterwards? If he would have been Moda. In this version, it says he was Moda in Bezdin. Whenever he came to Bezdin, it was Moda. He told him Yeshua in Bezdin that I blinded him, and he told Moda B'Knas. Mashvi even if there are Edom. So that's what these two versions seem to be. This machlokas gufa. If Moda B'Knas is Potter, if the Edom came later. Hi Tana Dama Shekva Ein Lacha Edom Sav Moda B'Knas V'Yachach Bo Edom is Chai. The one who says that then no Edom holds if there would have been Edom, then you would have to go. It would go free, even though you're Moda already. And Haitana Dama Shakvar Hodisa Saba Edom is Potter. Can we not be medayik from the two versions? And the Gemara says no, not necessarily. It is true that one bride says a raya Potter. Shekvar Hodisa, this word Shekvar Hodisa, that means that once you're Moda, he doesn't go free. So that you could see. Edom is Potter. That's what he said. He said you're Moda already. What's the difference if I'm Moda? Let's get the Edom. So he says no. If you want Moda, it's too late. So this part we do have a raya to Yehuna Marab that says Moda B'Knas V'Yachach Bo Edom is Potter. But the question is other bride. The other bride said there are no Edom. The Kuya Moda B'Knas V'Yachach Bo Edom is Potter. Welcome to Flagi. Ha'tanas Dama Shekva Ein Lecha Edom Saba Chutz LeBezdin Hava. Ha'tana Dama Shekva Hodisa Saba LeBezdin Hava. Everybody holds that if he would have been Moda, he would not go free. But was he Moda or not? So the story, what was the story? Was he Moda in Bezdin or not? The version that said that he said that there are no Edom.
Maybe there's no Edom to his father. I don't think no Edom to the case.
No.
Why not?
Moda means in Bezdin.
You know, his response that there was no Edom.
What does that mean?
No,
No Edom.
by saying Moda, it's given that happened in the place.
Moda, that the Gemara says Moda has to be in Bezdin only.
So Gamliel went to Bezdin. He Moda that he
blinded him,
and he doesn't have to break.
And he didn't realize that. He didn't realize. He was happy with Bishua. Bishua was in Bezdin. He went to Bezdin. He said, "I'm happy that my Eved went free." because I blinded him. So Yeshua said, you're moda. So he doesn't go free.
But
If-
already said, he said there was no eight.
There are two versions, right? So there are two versions. According to the version that says that you're moda, then even if there would be Eidim coming, it'd be potter. It's too late. Once you're moda, it's finished. The other version seemingly says that if there'd be Eidim, you would have to he would go free. He would go free.
Right, but I'm saying it's not because it's Molde and they would still go free. Maybe he's saying because you need Aiden seeing that there is an Aiden to the hit.
We're talking about Eidim on the head. That's all we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
When we say
I was like,
when we say Eidim, when we say Eidim, we mean Eidim that he hit him, that he was mapil his eye.
okay.
I'm not getting myself, but what's more I want to say? The more I thought that the Bryce that says that he said there are no Eidim, mashma if there would have been Eidim, he would have gone free, even though he's molded already. No, that's not a deal, because he wasn't molded. They got the story. The version, the two versions, was he molded in Besdin or not?
Right.
So the version that says he was not molded in Besdin says you have no Eidim. If you want molded in Besdin, if you have Eidim, so bring the Eidim first, and he's going to go free. But there are no Eidim. So it's not a right that anybody Hagis Anavuna. The Mishnah the most like before Hagis Anavuna and holds more than last week Eidim is Chayim. That's because it also would have been Pshita. But as far as the story of Gamliel, the Gemara says it's either version. You can say the Mod with Eidim is Potter, and once Rav Gamliel was Moda in Bezdin, it wouldn't help. That even if Eidim would come, it would not go free.
So if you want the topic to be free, he shouldn't be Molde and he should have Aiden.
But if he has if he has no Eidim, he has no Eidim. You can't do anything about that. If there are no Eidim, what should he do? There were no Eidim at the time when he did it. There were no Eidim. So there's no way that he can get him to get free. That's the end of the Gemara. I had a small thought that just ran into my mind. Is there any kasha that he was a mech simcha gedola that his Eved is going through? Hashem says, this is a kind of a shkafa question. And maybe it's not even a question at all. Hashem says that he should not be a slave. Is Hashem feel happy about that? Not happy. Anything, is there anything not right? He was happy that he went free. He
didn't free his slave. His slave was free.
But he didn't do that with happiness. He wasn't happy about that. He didn't free him because Hashem doesn't let him free him. But he wanted to free him. And when he got an opportunity to free him, he was very happy. Does that something to learn from that?
Sure. Yeah.
What would you learn?
Two things, I guess. One, for example, if one wants to go do a mitzvah and let's say it's difficult, and you agree to go do it, and you don't want to come in. I don't think there's an issue with not, let's say, not finding it, not being happy with it. That's fine.
And then he did it,
and then
begrudgingly, so to speak.
Right.
And then he got up to
and then right. So sometimes it happens. Okay, will you go drive? Let's say, we drive 2 hours north to go pick something up. I say yes. I go get in the car. So the car, they call me up. Hey, you don't have to come here. Yeah.
So
Is that problematic?
It's still
Not problematic.
it doesn't seem to be.
I have maybe an
He got a
answer.
permissible way to do what he wanted to do. Be the same way that Hashem, not the same way Hashem says don't free him and he didn't.
it's from yeah. So now he's going to get this mitzvah. Yeah, he's happy to do this mitzvah.
It's not that he's it's not that he's
Which makes
But he wasn't happy about it.
it's just,
He wasn't happy about the mitzvah of Laham Ben Tavo.
He wasn't happy about it.
No, he's
Right.
not happy about
You
it.
could be happy.
And when he got rid, and when he got put he was very
I
happy.
don't think so.
No, because now
no
he's
question in a second.
because now HaKadosh Baruch Hu freed him. HaKadosh
I have a
Baruch Hu freed
different
him.
word.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu freed him.
So the
No,
question.
the lashon of Gemara is no.
He was
The lashon is he's excited. My friend, not that he's been kind in the midst of he's going out with shame the
No. He's happy because he went free.
Right. So, but he's saying because he's doing. Shaul, you're saying because he's doing the mitzvah of going out with shame by
I didn't hear that.
I understand you
The
wrong.
question could be on the first thing. Then. Is it okay? I'm assuming that's your stuff. Is it okay to be unhappy that he couldn't free it?
Right. That's what I meant.
I have maybe a different approach. Tell me if you agree with this. That if someone finds a loophole in the halacha, it's not a good thing to be happy. I mean, but over here, Hashem said about from Klali. It could be Rabbi Gamliel that it was a yikes in that
That's a big chiddush. It's a big chiddush. That even though it's Hashem said Olam Tavodu, and sometimes it's going to include people that really you should free, but like a low plug, and nothing is wrong. But it's a big chiddush. That
So I give you a different.
The spirit of the
I
Lord.
have a friend that
Oh, you have a problem with it?
that's a kohen. He's 60, not married. right? So it's
He
definitely
wishes he
wrong.
wouldn't be a Kohen.
He wishes he wouldn't be a Kohen. Now, is it to say that the Hashem, I'm definitely Hashem didn't do any mistakes. Would you say that Hashem made a like plugo, but Etzem he doesn't want 60-year-old Kohen to get married?
He shouldn't get married to her?
No, he's not going to. It's us.
No.
But is it
I
that?
don't think it's because of that. What is
Nothing Hashem made us a like plugo.
That's a question. I'm not saying that. But this example, I don't see the
No, it
example.
could be Hashem doesn't want Kohen generally, but he didn't want to make it that maybe different ages now. He wanted to make something
Why should
clear
age make a difference?
because he's single. He's not married. He's single. He's
But
staying single.
the pagam of a Kohen that marries a grusha, like it's a pagam to a Kohen. Why make unless the Yisod I don't have a problem with. The Mashal says the Yisod. But the example you give me, I don't understand what.
Because it
why.
could be it would be if the Rabbanon would make a klal, it's it would say Yitzim klal. No, if there certain things that you don't want to make Yitzim klal, but at some you would make a Yitzim klal in such a situation.
He doesn't explain what they have to do with the age. Yeah, Kohen not marrying has nothing to do with the age. You could talk if you have to give a case where the rayon doesn't apply over here. The rayon of a concept, but the example, I don't see what has to flow. I don't see what it has to do with the Kohen not marrying. There are such examples.
Well, Navi wasn't happy with the story of Shaul, but it was what Hashem wanted. No, I mean it's okay to, let's say, be unhappy with what's happening.
Which thing about Shmuel and Shaul?
Shmuel was sad that the kingship was taken away from
That he
Shaul.
that Shaul,
and that it-
no,
and-
that Shaul
and
was the Shaul was not deserving to be the king.
right, and that
When
it made Shmuel very sad. It's
when a person when a person dies, people are sad. That's not a problem. It's not a problem when a person dies. When a person is not successful, people are sad. It's not a problem. I wouldn't ask on that.
Let me Zoom.
even though Hashem had told them, forget about Shaul,
You what?
pick somebody.
Yeah, but Hashem also feels bad about Shaul that he wasn't successful. That's I don't think that's the example.
Same with, let's say, Moshe's like his son not being chosen instead of Yeshua. No, okay.
Yeah,
See,
it's like that.
it's-
It will be a practical case of a mitzvah say that someone will be very happy that the mitzvah is taken away.
But also
Okay.
Yeshua was given.
But what I'm saying, that wasn't his happiness. His happiness
Okay.
was that
That
he.
is true.
That's your
Have I said Hashem Yishalei Chama? Maybe you
What
could
do you
just
see
say
in
just saying chizuk.
Of course, he doesn't mean Hashem Yishlach Hamas. Of course he means that, but he means that there's a difference that most people are not Yosef. Now that I'm a Yosef, so I'm not going to be nifshal and mistreated. Okay, just